Miss Brooke. We are eastbound and down on our way back home from California for some home time. I wanted to visit with you this morning. I'm just coming off my shift. I drove all night. Brooke is just taking over. She's over there doing what she does best, driving the truck in a straight line for 550 miles or so. We'll see. We both try to drive about 9.5 hours. With our break, it's perfect. Then we can just, take over for each other after our 10-hour break. We don't always have to do that, but on a lot of these loads, when we have to get there quick, it's best to run about a 9.5 hour shift. So I wanted to visit with you today about an adventure that we had the other day. Today's Saturday morning, and 2 days ago, we had dropped our last load and we were on our way down to Southern California to pick up the load that would bring us home. But we had a whole day to wait. The one load dropped off early in the morning, and the next load wouldn't pick up until yesterday morning, Friday morning. So we were like, okay, it's a really good paying load, and we were going to just have a day to chill out, relax, eat some good food, and get ready for this long trip back home, because it's pretty much 3 days of just back and forth. And after a run like that, we're pretty wiped out. Well, we got into the Pilot. Brooke elected to drive at a Pilot because the parking was easier over there. There's a Love's and a Pilot. There was a Love's right across the street. And we usually try to go to Love's first because we shower for free there. If we're at Pilot and we want to have a shower, we have to pay for that one. So we take advantage of the free showers at Love's, and that's where we usually stop when we need a shower. We had options. So we pulled over there and got parked up. And I'm really funny, especially in California. Once I'm set in one place, I don't want to move if we don't have to move. She's always like, let's run out to the grocery store. Let's go here, go there. Moving this truck and trailer around to places that aren't designed for it to be is not an enjoyable experience. And so I usually shoot her down with that. I try to, if we're out on the road and she wants to go to the grocery store, which we do need to from time to time, we'll research a Walmart that is friendly to truckers, and we'll go park in the back of the store or on the side of the store, and we can usually slip in and out and get the things that we need. But I had to give her a hard no on that yesterday. We weren't going to go to the grocery store. We were just going to stay parked and take a nap, get some rest, and then I was going to have her drive out in the morning for our 9 o'clock appointment at the O1. Well, you know how best laid plans, they usually don't go as planned. So we were having, as I told you in previous videos, we've been having problems with our batteries, the truck batteries, and I knew that they were getting progressively worse. Last week when we were in Springfield, or not Springfield, we were in Pittston, we had some other work done on the truck, had to have some filters changed and that kind of thing, and I could have and probably should have taken the opportunity to have the batteries checked out then and replaced probably all of them, because that's the school of thought, is that when your batteries start to go bad and one goes bad, the other ones are soon to follow. And so it's best just to change them all at the same time. As you know, we have 4 batteries on the truck. Well, the problem got progressively worse coming across the country to California. And so that day, on Thursday, we got into the truck stop, into the Pilot, and we knew that the truck probably would need to be charged. So we turned the truck off, turned it back on in about 90 minutes just to check it out, and it started right up. Then we stretched it out a little longer, and the next time it didn't start, so I had to jump in. Well, it was warmer that day, so we were running air and that kind of thing, and so I thought it was going to be good for a while. Basically, I waited too long, and late that afternoon I went to start it again just to check on it, and it didn't start. Well, that was very frustrating, because I'd already got the jumper cables out, hooked it up to the reefer, jumped it off. It's not a hard thing to do. In fact, I just showed you in a video how to do that. It's just kind of like a pain in the butt. And I knew that we were going to have this issue all night long, and now the batteries weren't staying charged for even 2 hours. And so we were going to have to do that all night long.
It was 3 times.
It was 3 times. So that, if I had been by myself driving solo, in the interest of saving money, I probably would have elected to limp across the country and just jump the truck off the reefer whenever I needed to do it, and have the batteries changed either at a terminal, one of our terminals, or while we were on home time. But it probably took Brooke getting upset about the situation and kind of letting me know in no uncertain terms that she was unhappy on the truck, especially if we weren't going to be able to use the heat or air if we needed to, and the fact that she couldn't cook. So, sometimes my wife is good in the way that she gets a point across to me, and she encourages me to get off my butt and do something that I should have done before. So, I was like, fine, I'll take care of it. So,
Gosh, you make it sound like you were steering.
well, you were cranky.
It's frustrating.
You were cranky and frustrated. And you shut the curtain. And I knew that that's a sure sign that I need to leave you alone for a while and just, let you cool down. Because if mommy ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, right? So basically, I got on the phone. It was probably like, it was the evening by then. It was probably around 6 o'clock or something, 7 o'clock in the evening. And found it was a TA that was about 2 hours away that had a service bay that said, yeah, we can check your batteries out. If you need a battery or batteries or anything else, we'll be able to take care of that for you. I said, fine. I'm going to wait. He said, we probably can't take care of you until midnight. I said, all right, that works. So I got out, I jumped the truck off yet again, got it running, waited a little while longer, and then headed south 2 hours to the pilot. Got in there, they were real nice, but lo and behold, other drivers had gotten there before me, and they told me now they weren't going to be able to see me till 4 a.m. Well, that was really pushing up against my time where I needed to be into the 01 for pickup at our appointment. So I said, that doesn't work. I guess it has to, right? So I said, if you can get this done in 30 or 45 minutes, I can have it done at 4. But I absolutely dropped dead, have to be out of here by 5 o'clock. They said, okay.
LA traffic.
To avoid the LA traffic, right? I mean, we were driving south into LA, and we needed to go to South LA, and we were going to be driving at about 5 a.m. So you know that it's going to be bad. Well, the situation just continued to get from bad to worse. I waited. I said, okay, I'll be waiting in the truck. I didn't want to go back and wake up Brooke because she had to drive the next morning. So I left the curtain closed. I just sat up front and waited the 2 hours. And then about 3 a.m., they called me and said, sorry to tell you, Mr. Gray, but the guy that was going to come in and do your battery check and change your batteries called out tonight. We're not going to be able to service your truck. I was like, what? They said, I've been waiting here for a couple hours. You were supposed to take care of this for me. Well, we can't do it. I'm sorry. Well, getting mad doesn't solve anything. You weren't going to do it. So the guy was nice enough to call across the street to the Petro to see if they could take care of me. And thankfully they said yes. Send him over, we'll see what we can do. So I went over, explained the problem again. The guy that they had working there could do a battery check, and if it was a battery situation, they could change the batteries for me. But they let me know if it was the alternator or the starter, he wasn't qualified to do the test on that or to change those out for me, and they probably didn't have those parts. And I said, well, if it's one of those things, I'm just going to have to roll with it the way that it is, because I have to be at this 01 tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So I said, I think it's the batteries, because when I charged the batteries up, the truck would easily turn over. It wasn't the starter, it wasn't the alternator. They were working fine. So anyway, they got me in there at about 4 a.m., like they said they would, and it took every bit of 30 minutes to diagnose the problem. And sure enough, there was one battery that was showing that it could be charged, but in the interest of, we want to fix this problem and don't want to have a discharge coming across the country again, I said, let's just replace that battery. A couple of things. I know that the accepted school of thought is, you know, if you have a battery that goes bad on a truck, go ahead and change them all out, because if one's gone bad, the other ones are soon to follow. I get it. I agree with that. But in this situation, the other batteries were showing up that they were working fine. This battery test and one battery for my truck was going to cost about $330. Well, if I had all my batteries changed at one of our terminals, all 4 batteries, it would cost $400. So it was going to cost nearly, for one battery, what it would have cost me in our terminal to change all 4 batteries. And I just couldn't bring myself to spend $800 or $1,000 with the test to have my batteries replaced there. So I said, just replace the one. So that's what we did. Talked to Road Assist, got it all approved. So we're rolling out there. We got out of there on time. I had 4 hours. I left at 5 o'clock. I needed to be there at 9 o'clock appointment. I said, fine. Even with traffic, we got 2 hours extra. We should be fine. Well, as soon as I got on Interstate 5, not 2 miles from getting on the interstate, we got called in for an inspection. I was driving. Got called in for an inspection. Well, I thought I was just going to drive through, you know, whatever. I get up for the weigh-in, and the speaker says, "Prime, pull into bay number 3." Great. So I pull into to bay number 3 for a level 2 inspection, which I'm proud to say I passed with flying colors. But that took 30 minutes. So burning time. Now I'm down to, I only have, about an hour and a half of playtime. Before I knew I had a 2-hour drive, I had about 90 minutes extra. I thought it would still be fine. So we roll on down the road, and about 10 miles from where we had the inspection, traffic came to a screeching halt on Interstate 10. It was an accident.
All lanes blocked.
All lanes blocked, it said on the sign. And so literally we sat on Interstate 10 for more than an hour in standstill traffic. We didn't move. And we still would have been okay when we started moving, but traffic through LA was just horrendous and slowed the whole way there. In the final analysis, we ended up being 30 minutes late to the O1. I knew ahead of time I was going to be late, called dispatch, let them know. They called the customer. Customer said, no problem, we're not ready to load them yet anyway. So it all worked out okay, but really a stressful time. I ended up being up all night long, and I'm glad I got the battery changed though, because it gave us peace of mind for this 2,500 mile trip across the country. And so the lesson learned, and what the whole reason for this video is don't put off until tomorrow what you can take care of today. I've learned over this time that problems don't go away, they only get worse. And sometimes you think you're going to save money, but if you don't take care of a problem when you become aware of it, many times it'll cost you more money. So that's the lesson for the day. Don't procrastinate. Brooke says don't procrastinate. She's right.
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law.
So if it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong, but you need to be somewhere.
Wow, that's extra. I thought Murphy's Law just said if something can go wrong, it will go wrong.
Well, here's my thing. A few times we've had inspections, we're not pulled over right around the corner from our 90. Or not the 90, and you know what? Or the 90, one or the other, actually. So you can tell us that time-wise.
And that's another reason, when you're on longer trips especially, don't lay back and don't pull over and think I got plenty of time on this load. Get the majority of the load out of the way before you chill out. I like to get within an hour of my drop if I can, and find a truck stop and park up and wait. Because you never know what you're going to run into. You never know what's going to happen.
Anticipate the accidents.
Yeah, if you can anticipate some of that stuff, you can know that traffic generally is bad around rush hour in Atlanta and LA all the time, but who knew that there was going to be all lanes blocked for 90 minutes?
You want your truck in the best working order when you're going to go all the way across from California to Florida and rest of us.
Right. So we'll be home probably on Monday morning. We're going to pick up our truck before we go home. I have a picture of it. I'm going to put it up here and show it to you. As I told you before, we got a 2007 Dodge Ram. I've always loved Rams. I've had one before. And we knew that we wanted to get an older one so that we don't have to deal with DEF and a lot of the computer chip issues with the new. We don't want a new truck. We need it just for kicking around on our Homestead. And this one was had great miles on it for its age, and we're just thrilled to have it. So got a cool lift kit on it, some big tires, so we're all rednecked out and ready to roll when we get home. But that's really all we have for now. I did want to share this with you, let you know that hopefully if you're getting something out of these videos, we're sharing our experiences with you on the road. If you are, we'd ask you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so that you're alerted to new content when it comes out.
Follow us on Instagram.
The other thing is we want you to start following us also on Instagram. Brooke has had a channel for a long time, but she changed the name to Simple Plan Trucking, just like here. And a lot of you ask us to do more video of pictures and video on the road, what it's like across the country. And for the past few days, she's done about a video a day on different places that we've been. Great scenery, going through the mountains. We did the Salt Flats in Utah the other day, which was really cool. But I'd ask you to go ahead and add us, if you follow on YouTube, look for us there on Instagram as well. And we think you'll enjoy that. So that's all. Y'all be safe out there. Take care. And we'll be talking with you again real soon.